जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवर धारी जय गिरिवर धारी जय यशोदानंद जय ब्रजजन रंजना जय यशोदानंद जय ब्रजजन रंजना जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जन रंजना जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जन रंजना जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव माई की जय। लड्डू गोपाल की जय। नरसिंह भगवान की जय। पंचतत्व की जय। षड गोस्वामी की जय। गुरु परंपरा की श्री गोपाल की श्री गुरुदेव। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of God Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. By regular attendance in classes of the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, he is established as an irrevocable fact. So Hare Krishna, Prabhupada Mataji, welcome all of you. Thank you very much for joining. I'll just share the screen for today's class. So today I've been given the opportunity to discuss verse number 427 from 4th canto, 12th chapter. Etat vimana pravaram uttama shlokamolina upastapitam ayushman adirodam tvamarhasi. Etat vimana pravaram uttama shlokamolina upastapitam ayushman adirodam tvamarhasi. So any Mataji or Prabhuji, you can recite.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
May Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes, Mataji.
एतद्विमानप्रवरम् उत्तमश्लोकमौलिना उपस्थापितम् आयुष्मन् अधिरोढुं त्वम् अर्हसि. Hare Krishna.
One more.
Thank
Mataji, Prabhuji can decide.
May I, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna?
Yes, Mataji.
एतद्विमानप्रवरम् उत्तमश्लोकमौलिना उपस्थापितमायुष्मन् अधिरोढुं त्वमर्हसि. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Synonymous word to word meaning. Etad, this. Vimana, airplane. Pravaram, unique. Uttama Shloka, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maulina, by the head of all living entities. Upasthapitam, sent. Ayushman, O immortal one. Adhirodhum, to board. Tvam, you. Arhasi, are worthy. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Please hear the translation and purport. O immortal one, this unique airplane has been sent by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is worshipped by selected prayers and who is the chief of all living entities. You are quite worthy to board such a plane. Purport. According to astronomical calculation, along with the pole star, there is another star which is called Shishumara, where Lord Vishnu, who is in charge of the maintenance of this material world, resides. Shishumara or Dhruvaloka can never be reached by anyone but the Vaishnavas, as will be described in the following shlokas. The associates of Lord Vishnu brought the special airplane for Dhruva Maharaj and then informed him that Lord Vishnu had especially sent this airplane. The Vaikuntha airplane does not move by mechanical arrangement. There are three processes for moving in outer space. One of the processes is known to the modern scientist. It is called Kapota Vayu. Ka means outer space and Pota means ship. There is a second process also called Kapota Vayu. Kapota also means pigeon. One can train pigeons to carry one into outer space. The third process is very subtle. It is called Akasha Patana. This Akasha Patana system is also material. Just as the mind can fly anywhere one likes without mechanical arrangement, so the Akasha Patana airplane can fly at the speed of mind. Beyond this Akasha Patana system is the Vaikuntha process, which is completely spiritual. The airplane sent by Lord Vishnu to carry Dhruva Maharaj to Shishumara was a completely spiritual, transcendental airplane. Material scientists can neither see such vehicles nor imagine how they fly in the air. The material scientist has no information about the spiritual sky, although it is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Parastasmatu bhavo anyah. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnanatvarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakata Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Saganalita Shri Vishaka Tamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhu Vayevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yonta Pravishya Mamavacha Imam Prasuptam Sanjeevayati Akila Shakti Dharasvadhamna Nanyam cha hasta charana shravanatva gadin Prana namo bhagavate Purushaya tubhyam Mukam karoti vachana pangam rangitavim Yatkapata manandakam Namo Vishnu 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 Namo Vishnu 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 Nirvisheshwara Vacha Vishnu Jai Krishna Priyadvara. So Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji, welcome. Thank you very much. for keeping this appointment to hear Srimad Bhagavatam today, 7th of May 2025. So we'll be discussing verse number 4, 12, 27, 4th canto, 12th chapter, verse number 27. See, in the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, this Dhruva Maharaj episode, no, is one of the most important. And this entire episode, this Dhruva Maharaj entire episode is of 5 chapters. It starts from 4th canto, 8th chapter, and now the last is the 12th chapter, which we are discussing now. These are the 5 chapters. And this just 12th chapter, no, if you go on reading, as if we've already seen so many wonderful qualities, it gives the beautiful qualities of Dhruva Maharaj. And we should appreciate and also follow those so that we can imbibe the qualities. So the entire 12th chapter is a description of Dhruva Maharaj's different wonderful qualities. So we should read the entire chapter and meditate on the verses. Because Srila Prabhupada also says in the 44th verse of this chapter, he says, very punching statement, he says, no, a sincere devotee should read every chapter and every word of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what Prabhupada is. So he's telling us, giving us an instruction. Every chapter and every word, right? Very important. See, and also there is a Falashruti, that is benefit of reading and hearing this entire episode of Dhruva Maharaj. Anyone who hears this narration of Dhruva Maharaj, he acquires exalted qualities like him. See, in the Bhagavad Gita, we learned that for the soul, because soul is eternal, right? Still, by the arrangement of this illusory energy of this material world, okay, we are all seemingly going through birth and death. This is because our identification with our material body, and which takes place because we have acquired something called false ego. Our real, what is our real ego? Our real ego is to be a servant of Krishna. We lose this consciousness so easily by getting lost into the details of Krishna's material energy, right? Trying to enjoy in so many gross or subtle ways, which are completely useless for pleasing anybody, including our false ego even. It's not easy, we cannot please. So the scriptures are very clear. They're trying to enjoy materially, it will make us miserable. Kripanas. That's why in Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad 3.8.10 it is said, he is a miserly man who does not solve the problems of life as a human and who thus quits this world like the cats and dogs without understanding the science of self-realization. Very powerful statement is given. So each one of us, are on a daily basis forced to go through a recurring set of experiences. See, every day we get up. Every day we take bath. We do our duties, eat, work, sleep. All with service, right? Either to ourselves or others or God as the objective. Now, in the material world, we meet other souls through interaction of the sense objects. And through that, we may get either a good result or a bad result, according to how we interact. See, once we enjoy the result, our good karmas are exhausted. Okay. And then we will continue to suffer for the bad karma until we learn how to tolerate the repercussions of those interactions. And then act as servants next time when we feel a similar situation. In Bhagavatam, see in the current chapter, 13th verse, it says, Dhruva Maharaj, he ruled over this planet for 36,000 years. By doing that, what did he do? He diminished the reactions of pious activities by enjoyment. 36,000 years, right? And by practicing austerities, Dhruva Maharaj, he diminished inauspicious reactions through very important points. He enjoyed. So thereby the pious activities will go on reducing. But by doing austerities, anything inauspicious, all the reactions, they were diminished. So Prabhupada very nicely mentions in this purport as to how devotees of Krishna, they understand the nature of the reaction of pious and impious activities. And thereby, they are neither elated nor distressed. But in all situations, they simply continue to execute the devotional service. This is the point we should understand. Good or bad, whatever, we continue to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. See, we may not be ready with any required paraphernalia to receive a great guest. When a very great guest is coming, suddenly we will not be ready, right? And we may not know what are the mantras we should chant. Suddenly, right? Some Maharaj is suddenly coming. But by simple process of chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, we can create a perfect and pleasing atmosphere. Srila Prabhupada remarks that either in danger or in happiness, the holy name, this Hare Krishna mantra, can be chanted without any limitation. The chanting of the holy name, it perfectly fits in any situation. And it is so nicely described in one beautiful prayer. Sukhavasane tvidameva saram, dukhavasane tvidameva geyam, dehavasane tvidameva japyam, govindadamo daramadaveti. It says, this indeed is essence found upon ceasing the affairs of mundane happiness. And this too is to be sung after the cessation of all sufferings. This alone is to be chanted at the time of death of one's material body. Govinda Damodara Madhava. See, in the 22nd verse, there's a word Pushkaranaba Sammato. It's very significant. Krishna, or Lord Vishnu, is known for his lotus eyes, lotus navel, lotus feet, lotus palms. So he is called Pushkaranaba, which means the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has a lotus navel, and Sammato means two confidential or very obedient servants. See, the materialistic way of life, it differs from the spiritual way, right? How it differs is, one is disobedience and the other one is obedience to the will of the Supreme Lord. So all living entities are there, part and parcel of Krishna. And they're supposed to be always agreeable, to the Supreme Person. And that is perfect oneness. In fact, in the Vaikuntha Loka, all the living entities are in oneness with the Supreme God because they never defy his orders, right? They always agree. In the middle world, they are not sammata, they are not agreeable, but always disagreeable, asammata. So this human form of life is a chance to be trained to be agreeable to the orders of the Supreme Lord. So, to bring about this training in society is the mission of the Krishna conscious movement. So, as it is given in Bhagavad Gita, see, the laws of material nature are very strict. No one can overcome the stringent laws of the material nature, right? But if one becomes a surrendered soul and agrees to the order of the Supreme Lord, then he can easily overcome those stringent laws. See, example of Dhruva Maharaj is very fitting. Prabhupada says, simply by becoming agreeable to the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and by developing the love of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj got the chance to personally meet the confidential servants of Lord Vishnu face to face. So what was possible for Dhruva Maharaj is possible for everyone. Prabhupada very encouraging statement says, anyone who very seriously engages in devotional service can obtain in due course of time the same perfection of the human form of life. So these two associates, right? Confidential servants of Lord Vishnu, Nanda and Sunanda. So they spoke to Dhruva Maharaj. They said, dear king, let there be all good fortune unto you. Please attentively hear what we shall say. So they are telling to Dhruva Maharaj, when you were only 5 years old, you underwent severe austerities. And you thereby greatly satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the confidential associates, Sunanda and Nanda, they are telling to Dhruva Maharaj that the Lord Vishnu is very much pleased. So see, what was Prabhupada says in the purport, What was possible for Dhruva Maharaj is possible for anyone. Any 5-year-old child can be trained. And within a short time, his life will become successful by realization of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada, see, unfortunately, this training is lacking all over the world. It is necessary for the leaders of this Krishna conscious movement to start educational institutions in different parts of the world to train children, starting at the age of 5 years. So such children will not become hippies or spoiled children of society. Rather, they can all become devotees of Krishna. So the face of the world will then change automatically. So Nanda and Sunanda, they are telling to Dhruva Maharaj, we are representatives of the Supreme Personality Godhead, who is the creator of the whole universe and who carries in his hand the bow named Saranga. So, right? So we have been specifically deputed to take you to the spiritual world. So they are telling to Dhruva Maharaj, we have been deputed by Lord to take you to the spiritual world. See, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that simply by knowing his transcendental pastimes, whether within this material world or in the spiritual world, anyone who understands factually who Krishna is, how he appears, how he acts, anyone who knows this, he can immediately fit for transfer to the spiritual world. So this principle, which is stated in Bhagavad Gita, operated in the case of King Dhruva. So throughout his life, he tried to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How? By austerity and penance. And now the mature result, now he has become fully matured. The mature result was that Dhruva Maharaj became fit to be carried to the spiritual world, accompanied by the confidential associates of the Lord. So beautiful, right? See, to achieve Vishnu Loka is very difficult. But by your austerity, you are conquered. That's what they say to Dhruva Maharaj. He's telling, to achieve Vishnu Loka is very difficult, huh? But because of your austerity, you are conquered. And they are telling even the great rishis and demigods, they cannot achieve this position. See, simply to see the supreme abode, the Vishnu planet, the sun, the moon, all of the planets, stars, lunar mansions, solar systems, they're all circumambulating it just to have a glimpse. So they're telling Dhruva Maharaj, now please come, you are welcome to go there. See, even in this material world, the so-called scientists, philosophers, and mental speculators, right? They strive to merge into the spiritual sky. But they can never go there. But a devotee, by executing devotional service, not only realizes, right, what the spiritual world actually is, but actually goes there to live an eternal life of bliss and knowledge. So this Krishna conscious movement is so potent that by adopting these principles of life and developing love of Godhead, one can very easily go back home, back to Godhead. So the practical example is the case of Dhruva Maharaj. See, while the scientists and philosophers go to the moon, but are disappointed in their attempts to stay there and live, they can't do. Whereas the devotee makes an easy journey to other planets, ultimately goes back to Godhead. See, devotees have no interest in seeing other planets. Right? Devotees, they don't have interest to see any other planets. But the interesting point is, Prabhupada says, while going back to Godhead in the plane, they see all of them as passing phases, all the other planets. You just see them. Just as one who is going to a distant place, passes through many small stations. Correct? So, the two associates, Nanda and Sunanda, they are telling, dear King Dhruva, neither your forefathers nor anyone else before you ever achieved such a transcendental planet. The planet known as Vishnu Loka, where Lord Vishnu personally resides, is the highest of all. It is worshipable by the inhabitants of all other planets within the universe. Please come up with us and live there eternally. This is given in translation of the previous verse, 26th verse. Where the purport Prabhupada says, when Dhruva Maharaj went to perform austerities, right? He was very determined to achieve what? To achieve a post never dreamt by his, right? He never dreamt by anybody else. He wanted a post bigger than of his forefathers, his father, right? So his father was Uttarapada, his grandfather was Manu, and his great father was Lord Brahma. So he wanted a kingdom even greater than Lord Brahma. So he requested Narada Muni to give him facility for achieving it. So the associates of Lord Vishnu reminded him that not only his forefathers, but everyone else before him was unable to attain Vishnuloka, the planet where Lord Vishnu resides. This is because everyone within this middle world is either a karmi, a jnani, or a yogi. But there are hardly any pure devotees. So the transcendental planet known as Vishnuloka is especially meant for devotees, not for karmis, jnanis, or yogis. So great rishis, demigods, they can hardly approach Brahmaloka, as is given in Bhagavad Gita, right? So Brahmaloka is not a permanent residence. See, Lord Brahma's duration of life is so long, it is difficult to estimate even the duration of one day in his life. Yet, Lord Brahma also dies. So do the residents of this planet. That's why Bhagavad Gita 8.16 says, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punar Avartano Arjuna. Except for those who go to Vishnu Loka, everyone is subject to 4 principles of material life. What is that? Birth, death, old age, and disease. So that's why Krishna says, Yad Gatva Nivartante Tad Dhama Parama Mama. 15.6, he says, the planet from which one is going, no one returns, is my supreme abode. So Dhruva Maharaj was reminded, you're going in our company to that planet from which no one returns to this material world. So material scientists, they're attempting to go to the moon and other planets, but they cannot imagine going to the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, because it is beyond their imagination. See, by material calculation, traveling at the speed of light, it will take 40,000 light years to reach the topmost planet. By mechanical processes, we are unable to reach the topmost planet of the universe. But the process called Bhakti Yoga, as it is executed by Dhruva Maharaj, can give one the facility not only to reach other planets within this universe, but also to reach beyond this universe to the Vishnu Loka planets. So Prabhupada says in the purport of the previous verse 4:12:26, the last line he says, we have outlined this in our small booklet. Prabhupada has written another beautiful small booklet, Easy Journey to Other Planets, which you can go through. See how time steals away the life of those who are not devoted to Krishna. And how the same time takes the devotees closer to Krishna. Devotees welcome death wholeheartedly and take advantage of it to attain the association of Krishna. So in this episode describing Dhruva Maharaj's story, right, this point is very nicely elaborated. Dhruva Maharaj, after ruling the planet for 36,000 years, decided to quit this world and went to Badrikashrama to perform austerity in loving devotional service. So as a result of his sincere service, by the time to quit his body came close, the 2 associates of Lord Vishnu, Nanda and Sunanda, came with the Vaikuntha airplane to take him back. At that time, death personified also approached him. The 30th verse very beautifully says how Dhruva Maharaj reacted to the personified death. See, when Dhruva Maharaj was attempting to get on the transcendental plane, he saw death personified approach him. Not caring for death, he took advantage of the opportunity to put his feet on the head of death. And thus he got up on the airplane, which was as big as a house. Now, it may be questioned that while we say death will not approach a devotee, how did death personified approach Dhruva Maharaj? To answer this, Srila Prabhupada beautifully says in the purport. See, when Dhruva Maharaj boarded the plane, he took advantage of the arrival of death personified, who came to offer him obeisances. Putting his feet on the head of the death, he got up on the unique airplane. See, Yamaraj, death personified, is also a devotee. He respects devotees of Lord Krishna the most. So Yamaraj did not come there to take away Dhruva Maharaj to the horrible hell. No. Because he does not belong to the league of sinful living beings. Instead, Yamaraj was so amazed at the intense devotional service of Dhruva Maharaj that he came there to offer obeisances to him. This is how a devotee gets rid of the fear of death personified, right? So following in the footsteps of great devotees like Dhruva Maharaj, we can also pray sincerely to the Supreme Lord with determination and get rid of the fear of death that is gripping us every moment. See, we can observe the plane has come, let's spend the spiritual world. So we can observe a specific distinction between Dhruva Maharaj's time and modern days. For the aeroplanes in those days were made of gold, whereas the present moment airplanes are made of base aluminium. So this gives a hint of the opulence of Dhruva Maharaj, these days, in the poverty of modern times. See, in 6244, in the translation it is said, with regard to Ajamila, right? Accompanied by the order carriers of Lord Vishnu, Ajamila boarded an airplane made of gold. Passing through the airways, he went directly to the abode of Lord Vishnu, husband of goddess of fortune. See, for many years, material scientists have tried to go to the moon, but they are still unable to go there. How the spiritual airplanes from the spiritual planets, it can take one back home, back to God in just a second. The speed of such a spiritual plane can only be imagined. See, spirit is finer than the mind. And everyone has experienced, right? Everybody, all of us has experienced how swiftly the mind travels from one place to another. If I think, now I am in London, but straight all over, you're just there now. So one can imagine the swiftness of the spiritual form by comparing it to the speed of the mind. See, in less than even a moment, a perfect devotee can return home back to Godhead immediately after giving up his material body. See, while describing the glorious journey of Dhruva Maharaj to Vaikuntha planet, Maitreya Muni to Vidura, Maitreya Muni says, the self-effulgent Vaikuntha planets, by whose illumination alone all the illuminating planets within this material world give off a reflected light, cannot be reached by those who are not merciful to other living entities. Only persons who constantly engage in welfare activities for other living entities can reach the Vaikuntha planets. That's what Maitreya Muni is telling to Vidura Maharaj. See, exalted glories of Narada Muni, you have to understand. He was a special master of, right? Prahlad Maharaj, Vasudev, Dhruva Maharaj. Narada Muni is a perfect spiritual master because he travels all over the universe for the sole purpose of what? Performing the best welfare activity for the entire universe by teaching everyone how to become a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's an ocean of compassion, and his wonderful qualities are described in many places in Bhagavatam. So let us meditate one such pastime from Bhagavatam to appreciate and also imbibe his divine qualities. So we are just the fourth canto, right, which pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj is beautifully described and filled with wonderful instructions, for all of us. So Dhruva Maharaj being insulted by his stepmother, he was highly enraged, and under the instruction of his mother Suniti, he left to the forest in search of the Supreme Lord. Correct. Now Narada Muni, being Trikalagya, means knower of past, present, and future. Understanding Dhruva Maharaj's determination, he came to help him. See, it is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 19.151. By the grace of the spiritual master and Krishna, one can enter into devotional service. Now, because Dhruva Maharaj's determination, because of his determination, right, Krishna, the super soul, immediately sent his representative, Narada Muni, to initiate him. So he is a perfect spiritual master. Narada Muni, he wanted to impress upon Dhruva Maharaj, see that he was only a child and that should not have been affected by the words of his or insult or honor. He instructed Dhruva Maharaj to be satisfied in all circumstances. In fact, he was testing Dhruva Maharaj to see how determined he is to do this devotional service. So this is the process of accepting a disciple. So in this regard, Prabhupada says, generally people think that childhood is meant for enjoying life by engaging oneself in sports and play. Youth is meant only for enjoying company of young girls. And when he becomes old, at the time of death, then he may try to execute devotional service, right? So, but the conclusion is not for devotees who are actually, but this conclusion is not for devotees who are actually serious. So the Narada Muni is instructing Dhruva Maharaj just to test him. Actually, the direct order is that from any point of life, one should begin rendering devotional service. Kaumar Pragya, right, in the year of 5. It is the duty of the spiritual master to test the disciple to see how seriously he desires to execute devotional service. Then he may be initiated. So Dhruva Maharaj was determined in his pursuit of attaining kingdom greater than Lord Brahma. So he humbly refused the instructions of Narada Muni. He inquired from him about the process to worship the Supreme Lord as directed by his mother. He was asking Narada Muni. See, even though Narada Muni could have fulfilled his desire, right? But he did not do so. In fact, he instructed him to engage in devotional service to the Lord. So the instruction, see, now Narada Muni is telling to Dhruva Maharaj, the instruction given by your mother Suniti to follow the path of devotional service to Supreme Lord is just suitable for you. So you should completely absorb yourself in the devotional service of the Lord. You just told him to continue. See, Narada Muni is referred as Bhagavan in this purport because he can bless any person just as the Supreme Personality of Godhead can. So he was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaj. And he could have at once personally given whatever he wanted, right? But that is not the duty of a spiritual master. His duty is to engage his disciple in a proper devotional service as prescribed in the Shastras. So Krishna was similarly present before Arjuna, right? Even though Krishna could have given him all the facilities for victory without a fight, he could have done that. But he did not do so. He asked Arjuna to fight. In the same way, Narada Muni asked Dhruva Maharaj to undergo devotional discipline in order to achieve the desired result. So Narada Muni explained the detailed process of worshipping the Supreme Lord. And finally instructed Dhruva Maharaj to stick to the process of transcendental loving service as a means to achieve liberation. And Narada Muni is the ocean of compassion. Not only compassion to Dhruva Maharaj, but also to his father also, Uttanapada. See, out of compassion after instructing Dhruva Maharaj, Narada Muni went to his father to solace him and broadcast the glories of his son. So Dhruva's father, he was anxious about his son's safety and well-being, right? But Narada Muni assured him that anyone who engages in devotional service, wherever he may be in the universe, will be protected by the Lord. This is assurance. Anyone who engages in devotional service, wherever he may be in the universe, will be protected by the Lord. And Narada Muni was never envious. He was non-envious at heart. See, after Dhruva Maharaj got the darshan of the Supreme Lord, he returned to his palace and he was reunited with his father and mother. He also later became the king and was constantly engaged in loving devotional service to the Lord and was endowed with all the good godly qualities. And at the end of his lifetime, he was carried to Vaikuntha Loka along with his mother Suniti. So Narada Muni, being the spiritual master, he was not at all envious. He was very happy to see the glories of Dhruva Maharaj. The spiritual master is always transcendently proud of his disciples. Transcendently proud of his disciples. So Narada Muni was the perfect spiritual master and Dhruva the perfect disciple. So Narada Muni went to the sacrificial arena of the Prachetas afterwards and happily chanted the glories of Dhruva Maharaj. So this shows the non-envious nature of Srila Narada Muni. See, they go and tell about the glories of this, right? So when a Vaishnava sees that another Vaishnava is a recipient of the Lord's mercy, he becomes very happy. Devotees are always non-envious. Dhruva Maharaj attained an exalted position at the age of only 5 or 6 years after undergoing austerity for 6 months. See, a great Kshatriya cannot achieve such a position even after undergoing austerity for many, many years. Srila Prabhupada writes the purport, the great sage Narada Muni was very proud of having a devotee disciple like Dhruva Maharaj. He had many other disciples, but he was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaj because in one lifetime, please understand this point. Why Narada Muni was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaj? Because in one lifetime, by dint of his severe penances and austerities, he had achieved Vaikuntha, which was never achieved by any other king's son or Rajrishi throughout the whole universe. So Prabhupada again, right, the lesson from the life of Dhruva Maharaj is that if one likes, one can attain Vaikuntha Loka in one life without waiting for the many other lives. Prabhupada says, my Guru Maharaj, Shri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada used to say that every one of his disciples could attain Vaikuntha Loka in this life without waiting for another life to execute devotional service. one simply has to become as serious and sincere as Dhruva Maharaj. Then it is quite possible to attain Vaikuntha Loka and go back home, back to God in one life. So with determination, when one follows the instructions of the spiritual master sincerely, it is possible to reunite with Krishna after this very lifetime. See, in this current verse which we're discussing, it is Prabhupada gives, according to astronomical calculation, along with the pole star, there is another star, which is called Shishumara, where Lord Vishnu, who is in charge of the maintenance of this little world, resides. Now, Shishumara or Dhruvaloka can never be reached by anyone but the Vaishnavas, as we will describe in the following shlokas. See, in the 5th canto, 23rd chapter, the Shishumara planetary systems is briefly given. It says, see, this chapter describes how all the planetary systems take shelter of the pole star, that is Dhruvaloka. It also describes the totality of these planetary systems to be Shishumara, another expansion of the external body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, Dhruvaloka, the abode of Lord Vishnu within this universe, is situated 13 lakh yojanas from 7 stars. See, in the planetary system of Dhruvaloka are the planets of the fire god, Indra, Prajapati, Kashyapa, and Dharma, all of whom are very respectful to the great devotee Dhruva, who lives on the pole star. See, like the bulls, which are yoked to a central point, all the planetary systems revolve around Dhruvaloka, impelled by eternal time. It is said, those who worship the Virat Purusha, the universal form of the Lord, they conceive of this entire rotating system of planets as an animal known as Shishumara. So this imaginary Shishumara is another form of the Lord. See, the head of Shishumara form is downward, and its body appears like that of a coiled snake. So on the end of its tail is Dhruvaloka. On the body of the tail are Prajapati, Agni, Indra, Dharma, and the root of the tail are Dhata and Vidhata. On its waist are the 7 great sages. See, the entire body of Shishumara faces towards its right and appears like a coil of stars. On the right side of this coil are the 14 prominent stars from Abhijit to Punarvasu. And on the left side are the 14 prominent stars from Pushya to Uttarashada. So the stars known as Punarvasu and Pushya are on the right and left hips of Shishumara. And the stars known as Ardra and Ashlesha are on the right and left feet of the Shishumara. So see, other stars are also fixed on different sides of the Shishumara planetary systems, according to the calculations of Vedic astronomers. So to concentrate their minds, yogis, they worship the Shishumara planetary system, which is technically known as the Kundalini Chakra. So I'll just share the screen of the last verse, just so that people can know how powerful it is, right? See, in this 523, last verse of this chapter, please go through this. It translates this. The body of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, which forms the Shishumara Chakra, is the resting place of all the demigods and all the stars and planets. One who chants this mantra to worship the Supreme Person 3 times a day, morning, noon, and evening, will surely be freed from all sinful reactions. If one simply offers his obeisances to this form or remembers this form 3 times a day, all his recent sinful activities will be destroyed. See, in the purport, Prabhupada says, summarizing the entire description of the planetary system of this universe, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that one who is able to meditate upon this arrangement as the Virat Rupa or Virat Vishwarupa, external body of the Supreme Personality Godhead, and worship him 3 times a day by meditation, will always be free from all sinful actions. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur estimates that Dhruvaloka, the pole star, is 38 lakh yojanas above the sun. Then above Dhruvaloka by almost 1 million, right? Yojanas is Maharloka. And above Maharloka, 20 lakh yojanas is Janaloka. Above Janaloka, 80 lakh yojanas is Tapaloka. Above Tapaloka, yojana is Satyaloka. Right? So this is given all these calculations, right? So Vaikuntha planets begin by 2 million, right? Yojanas above the Satyaloka. So Vishnu Puran describes the covering of the universe How much it is away from the sun? So distance from the sun to the earth, right? 100,000 yojanas, and below the earth, 70,000 yojanas are 7 lower planetary systems called Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. And below these lower planets by 30,000 yojanas, Sheshnag is lying on the Garbhodaka ocean. And that ocean is 2,049 lakhs 18,000 yojanas deep. So the total diameter of the universe is approximately 5 million yojanas, right? Miles. So how, just cannot imagine, inconceivable. So these 7 stars revolving around the pole star are called Saptarishi Mandala. And on these 7 stars, which form the topmost part of the planetary system, reside 7 sages: Kashyapa, Atri, Vashishta, Vishwamitra, Gautama, Jabadagni, and Bharadwaja. So these 7 stars are seen every night, and they each make a complete orbit around the pole star within 24 hours. And along with these 7 stars, all the other stars also orbit from east to west. See, in one of the lectures, Prabhupada says there is an astronomical calculation called Bhrigu Samhita. See, the Bhrigu Samhita, if you consulted the Bhrigu Samhita, you will find the calculation of your 3 lives. What you were in previous life, what is going to happen in this life, and what is going to happen in the next life. So the previous life is called Purva, present is called Chakshur, and what going to have, that is called Apurva. So Apurva means you have such a body. So this body, suppose you are Mr. So-and-so, your bodily constitution is such and such, and this is finished in this life, and you will never get such body again. Therefore, it is called Apurva. You get once a chance for having a particular type of body, and when that is finished, you cannot imagine that you will get another body like that. Exactly, not possible. So the Supreme Personal Godhead, Paramatma, he knows what kind of body has to be offered to Apurva, right? So man is working like this, so he has to accept a body like this. See, as far as we are concerned, we have forgotten what was our previous body. Even in this life, see, suppose as a baby on the lap of mother, right? Several things happened, but I don't remember anything. I cannot remember what I was doing, how I was acting. And that was a small baby boy. Now that is not there now. So in this life, only you cannot remember when you were a baby what you were. What about how can you remember the previous life? Right? And so how to think about the next life also? Not possible. So just like in a dream, when we dream that I have got a body which is flying, at that time you cannot remember that actually I am not this body, I am dreaming. You are sleeping, right? So that body is there. But you're dreaming, that's another body. So you don't remember the body which is sleeping now. So you cannot remember. So just try to understand. As soon as you dream, you get a body. You forget this body. So how can you remember your past body? Dream also changes, just like this. This is also another dream. So you are thinking that you are awakened. Currently, we are all thinking that we are awakened. But so long as you are asleep by the modes of material nature, surely you are dreaming. We are all dreaming at the moment. This is another kind of dream. So as soon as you dream at night while sleeping, the so-called awakening is also dreaming. Unless one is in full knowledge, right? That's the point to understand. So anyone who has come to this material nature, under the control of this material nature, means it will keep you avidya, ignorance. So the material nature's business is to keep you in ignorance. Avidya. Just like at night, you are sleeping. You are thinking you are sleeping very nicely. Now, if somebody comes and chops off your head, you will not know. Nidra, it is known as Nidra Rupena. You do not know. But one thing is very prominent. See this ear, if somebody cries, shouts, "Oh, mister, you are sleeping, get up, get up. This man, somebody is coming to kill you." Then we awaken. This is the ear. The ear is very important sense you can utilize. Now, similarly, as you are sleeping under the influence of material nature, as though you are acting. Actually, we are all simply acting only. Right? Material nature is doing. You are just acting. You are being forced to act according to your attitudes. and all the different varieties of material nature. So therefore, as in the sleeping condition, your ear does not sleep. While sleeping, the ear does not sleep. It gives you help to rise up. So similarly, even when in this material condition of life, if you hear from the right person, from the Vedas, then you can rise up again. Therefore, Vedas is complete. So actually, this is our sleeping condition, ignorance, avidya. So this Krishna conscious movement, the first prescription is Shravanam. Hearing. Then you will come to your senses. Shravanam Ketram Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam. If you simply hear about Krishna, automatically you become purified. And you will know your constitutional position and you become free of all the inabilities. Uttishta Jagrata Prapya, right? This is injunction. Get up, Uttishta Jagrata, be awakened. You got this human form of life. If you understand it and make your life free from the clutches of the material nature, then it's perfect. And that is simplified by Krishna, right? Mameva ye prapadyante, maya metam taranti. Anyone who surrenders unto me is immediately liberated to become free from the influence of Maya. Therefore, Krishna advises Sarva Dharmam Parityeja Mamekam Sharanam Vacha. This is the only advice, 18.66. You have to surrender to Krishna and be Krishna conscious. That is your only business. There is no other business, right? No other alternative, only Krishna consciousness. See, Prabhupada in the purport says, in the current verse which we are discussing, 27th verse, associates of Lord Vishnu brought the special airplane for Dhruva Maharaj, right? Nanda and Sunanda, and informed him that Lord Vishnu had specially sent this airplane for him. See, the Vaikuntha airplane does not move by mechanical arrangement. Prabhupada says, three processes for moving in outer space. One of the processes is known to the modern scientist. It is called Ka Pota Vayu. Ka Pota Vayu. Ka means outer space. Pota means ship. So we know this. The aeroplanes which are seen there. Similar ones. There is a second process called Kapota Vayu. Kapota also means pigeon. So one can train pigeons to carry one into outer space. The third process is very subtle. It is called Akasha Patana. Akasha Patana system is also material. And he's speaking about just as the mind can fly anywhere one likes without any mechanical arrangement. So Akasha Patana airplane can fly at the speed of mind. And beyond this Akasha Patana system is the Vaikuntha process, which is completely spiritual. So the airplane sent by Lord Vishnu to carry Dhruva Maharaj to Shishupara was a completely spiritual, transcendental airplane. See, the essence of all Vedas, Nigama Kalpataru, right? Galitam Phalam. Nigama means Vedas and it is called Kalpataru, means desire tree. So Vedic knowledge is so perfect that you can receive from the Vedas all different types of knowledge. You can receive knowledge from Vedas, all types of knowledge, means social, political, scientific. So many departments of knowledge, engineering, medical, right? See, the medical science is called Ayurveda. Ayurveda means, see, Vedic knowledge about duration of life. Similarly, there is Dhanurveda, military science. So there are so many departments. So just like this aeroplane, this is also mentioned in the Vedas. Just now we saw Kapota, Vayu, right? Akashapatana. See, Prabhupada in one of the lectures he says, Akashapatana, right? You can fly in the sky. And he says also there are mantras. Suppose I am sitting on this throne. By chanting those mantras, this seat will fly in the sky. You can see from Bhagavatam, right? Kardam Muni, father of Kalpit Deva, he made an aeroplane exactly like a township. Big buildings, lake, garden, so many people. They are flying in the sky, visited all the planets. So Nigama Kalpataru, like desire tree. So material scientists can neither see such vehicles nor imagine how they fly in the air. Material scientists know information about the spiritual sky. Although it is mentioned, right, in the Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada says, Parastatmat tu bhavo anyaha. In fact, the next verse is very beautiful, which of course tomorrow it will be taken. See, we should mark some good lessons, how how dutiful Dhruva Maharaj was in his devotional service. See, this one, Nanda and Sunanda bought the plane for him to take him, right? So even at that time, he just did not board and go. Even when he left, time when he left his bottle body, he was constantly alert in the performance of devotional duties. Every devotee should take his bath early in the morning and decorate his body with tilaka. See, in Kali Yuga, one can hardly acquire gold or jewel ornaments. Prabhupada says in the purport, but the 12 tilaka marks on the body are sufficient as auspicious decorations to purify the body. Very important. So since Dhruva Maharaj was living at that time at Badrikashrama, there were other great sages there. See the quality of Dhruva Maharaj. There are so many other great sages there. But Dhruva Maharaj did not become puffed up because the airplane sent by Lord Vishnu was waiting for him. You will say, oh, see, merely plane aa gaya. Right? He was not like that. Very humble Vaishnava. He accepted blessings from all the sages before riding on the plane, brought by the chief of the Vaikuntha associates. So wonderful qualities of Dhruva Maharaj we should imbibe and put it into practice in our daily life. This is how we can get the plane. Right? Nanda and Sunanda will come and take us back home, back to Godhead. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. I hope I stop here now. Vancha kalpataru bhishcha kripa sandhu vacha patitanam pavane bhi vaishnavam ananta kodi vaishnavam. If you have any questions or any takeaways, which is very important for you, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Danda Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Prabhu, I missed the point where we were saying that death personified came and Dhruva Maharaj stepped on his head. What was the reason? Like, how can death come?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Correct. The death person is none other than Yamaraj. So Yamaraj comes not only basically to punish, take people and take the hell planet and punish them. But he did not come to take Dhruva Maharaj to hellish planet because he could see a pure devotee of the Lord. So he came to pay obeisances to Dhruva Maharaj, to such a wonderful devotee. So he came. So when he paid obeisances, so Dhruva Maharaj placed his leg on top of the death personified and boarded the plane. So he came only to pay obeisances, not to do anything else. Because Yamaraj is also devotee. And when there is a pure devotee of the Lord, when the devotees are there chanting, and Yamaraj does not come there. And neither is Yamadutas come to them. Yamaraj comes only to pay obeisances. Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. And Prabhuji, what we have to learn from this, like how exactly we have to live a life, like, and do the austerity. We can't do what Dhruva Maharaj did, but what is the right way one should lead a life, Prabhuji? Can you help me?
Yes, almost. See, if we go through the whole chapter right from the beginning, there are very beautiful points to understand, right? I'll just give you a few of them. Very nice devotional. See, in fact, in the 11th chapter, previous chapter, Dhruva Maharaj when he was killing yakshas and all. So his Manu came, right? He told him, "What are you doing? Please stop this. Stop the killing yakshas and immediately end this fighting." So he very respectfully immediately listened. For us, it is very difficult when we are fighting with somebody comes, "No, please stop it." You will beat him also, right? So we respectfully listens. Listening is one of good quality, right? And when the 12th chapter, beginning of 12th chapter, this chapter itself, Kuvera, the father of Yakshas, he appeared before Dhruva. And Yakshas being killed, Kuvera should be angry with Dhruva, but he was very happy. See, because of the peaceful nature and respectful attitude of Dhruva Maharaj, right? He bowed down to Kuvera. So his respectful attitude is very important. So first point was very respectful listen, respectful attitude. And then we should not be greedy. The Kuvera told him, he gave him benedictions, you ask whatever you want. He didn't want anything. He said, I don't know, he was not greedy at all. You should not be greedy. And he asked for any unflinching faith and remembrance of Krishna. Only we seek the blessings, even when Maharaj, we seek the blessings. Maharaj, please bless me, and I should always have the unflinching faith and remembrance of the Supreme Lord. I should always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Not that, please bless me, I should get a green card. I don't know this thing, goodbye, good Magalo and all. Good job. That is actually a byproduct. It will come. See, after receiving the benediction from Dhruva, Dhruva Maharaj did not relax. Huh? Oh, he gave me this unflinching faith. He was never proud for receiving such blessings also. So no relaxation in devotional service. And not to be proud. Right? And another important point was he did not forego his material duties. That is another again. Otherwise, become lazy. Only no, I have to chant only. I cannot do anything else. You should be responsible as a grahastha. You have to do your responsibilities, right? By doing your responsible grahastha ashrama duties, that is also Krishna conscious. So he did not forego his duties. He was very respectful to the devotees of the Lord. See, we meet so many devotees, right, in programs and so many things. We like somebody, we don't like somebody. There also the discrimination is there. But he was respectful to the devotees of the Lord. And he was kind to the poor and innocent. And he also protected the religious principles. Anyway, that is for the kings. But we should respect everyone, each other, right? And he was completely detached from all the opulences. We may have a very rich person, not but very much focused. We are not deviated. And completely prideless and humble. Very nice point. Prideless and humble. Say, and also he performed all his spiritual duties and offered his respectful obeisance to great sages who were present there, right? And sought their blessings before boarding the plane. Otherwise, you say just like the plane has come for me only. You're all meditating so many janmas, years and all. Nothing is coming. I only for 6 months I did. I was not proud of that. So these are the few qualities which we can imbibe, Prabhu. I hope it was so peaceful. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot. Hare Krishna. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji. Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhuji, one point that we should remember is constantly we are being tested by our spiritual masters and God. So Narad Muni was actually testing Dhruva by, trying to tell him that this is not meant for you. But because of his Vyavasayatmika buddhi, that his mother had told him and advised him, he just stayed put and he achieved. No, Prabhuji?
Correct. True, Mataji. He was determined. So
You are determined.
he knew that he was determined. And then he said, but you see, Radhamuni could have given him straight away, just blessed him, okay. But he didn't do that. He said, what your mother told was correct to do devotional service. So he told the process of devotional service.
Mm.
So he has to go through the 6 months, whatever it is, he had to go through that. And he did it because his determination to achieve
So
that.
nice. So
Very
nice,
beautiful.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for summarizing all the qualities also, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. You have to go through the whole chapter and you'll get beautiful.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay. Fine. Thank you very much, Mataji Prabhujis, for this opportunity to glorify the Lord. Hare Krishna. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam. Please stop now. Hare Krishna.